Hey guys, it's Daniela, and today's April 30th, which means it's the last day of VEDA. Go me! I actually recorded another video earlier, but I decided I wanted to make a different one, especially since, I have a little bit of time, and I wasn't sure if I would end up making a video this evening. So first of all, check out my awesome socks. Can you see them? They have foxes on them. They're cool, and they have on the side this girl flying around with them. I got them for Christmas, and they're kind of like my awesome socks. Maybe they're even going to be my lucky socks. I don't know. So today turned out to be a pretty good day. I'm dog sitting for my parents, so I've had the house to myself. And sometimes that's just nice. I don't live at home, but I have roommates, and usually they're around. And it's not like that's ever a problem, because being the major introvert I am, I usually just hang out in my room all the time. Or sometimes they're working, so they'll be gone parts of the weekend anyway. But sometimes it's just nice knowing that I'm the only person at home. I can do whatever I want. Like, if I want to read a book, I can read a book. If I want to watch YouTube videos without my headphones in, I can watch YouTube videos without my headphones in. I can sing, I can run around. I can just be a weirdo, even though I really just chill. And I've got my dogs and the cat to hang out with, and it's nice. So this morning, I've been kind of exhausted like the end of the week, just staying up a little too late and having work to do, partly because I procrastinate. Again, that is a goal I plan to work on for next year. And then I ended up waking up at 7, not really getting back to sleep. Just heard what sounded like something crashing or fireworks, who knows. Anyway, so I came downstairs, hung out with the dogs for a little while, fed them breakfast, took them out, and then I got to grading some of the tests from Spanish 1. And sometimes that's kind of bums me out a bit. But, I know I'm doing my best as a teacher, and every year that goes on, I try and improve. But, students gotta work with me too. But after I graded one class's tests, I should get around to grading the other ones. But I just kind of hung around, watched some videos, and I had plans with my boyfriend to go to the art museum this afternoon. And that was fun. I've actually only been once before. It's the North Carolina Art Museum in Raleigh. So we went over in the afternoon. I went once when I was in college, and it actually has at least 2 different buildings with different exhibits inside. And then, which I don't think I realized this the first time I went in college, but they have several outdoor paths and some art pieces out there. So we first went into the West building, which my boyfriend said was the free building. I don't know if they're both free or what, and I think we only went to the West building the first time I went to. And there's several different galleries, and it's kind of neat. I like how the inside's kind of set up because it's pretty simple, and you just go from one gallery to the next, and they've got the different types of art. And while I'm not necessarily someone who can look at any kind of art and be like, ah, yes, this blue canvas, I understand what the artist was trying to do here. Sometimes it's just cool looking at art. It's just something I like to look at. So the first section we started off with has some more abstract stuff, and again, not really stuff that we can say, I understand the significance of this. We were like, I like that blue. Those are pretty colors. And then saw some other paintings, and then different sections. There was one with artwork probably from the Renaissance. And I actually took an art history class-ish when I studied abroad in Spain, and I kind of enjoyed the Renaissance section. And that was pretty neat. We saw some classical art from around Greece, maybe Rome, and some Egyptian art. I'm trying to think of the different sections. European art, some Impressionists. And it's kind of neat seeing the different art styles in the different countries. So yeah, that was fun. And then we ended up going outside on some of the paths, which was pretty neat. We kind of, when we left, instead of going back to the parking lot the way we came, we went another way, and there was a little pond. We walked around the pond, and it's actually set up in a way that it's almost like a retaining pond, so that when it rains, it collects this water. And I only read part of the sign, so I'm not sure exactly if it's just to collect water and that sort of thing. but you could see where all these stones were set up to help the water from like when it rains go off towards the pond. So we walked around the pond, and then we went up to like some of the paths. And it looks like a big old park because there's some paths and there's just all this green space. And on a nice sunny day, it'd be kind of really pretty to go walking down and just like lay in the grass. So we walked a little bit. There was like some art structures there, kind of abstract-y things. There were like these three big, round circles that looked like they were covered in dirt or something, and they were made of concrete and steel, but they were kind of coated in a layer of earth. And then this other art display that was made of like found chairs, just like in trees in a little section, so that was funny. But it was neat. We walked around there a little bit, and it's just nice for me walking around. That was honestly my favorite part of the museum. Then we went back to the car, and yeah, and just hung out for a little bit afterwards. But it was nice getting to go to the art museum again for the first time in a couple years, 9, 7. Personally, sometimes when I go to a museum, it depends, like, I'm really nerdy and I love a lot of different things. Like, art is really cool to me. I love history, I love science, and so on. Sometimes when I go to a museum, I can get a little bit bored, depending on how tired I am, if I feel like, alright, I'm just looking at stuff. And for some reason, even though I love history, if I go to, like, certain museums with like really, really old stuff or stuff from like the colonial era, and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, okay, it's a teapot. Cool. It's some furniture. Cool. But like there's a science museum and a history museum in downtown Raleigh, and I haven't been there in a little while, and I love those museums. The history museum's pretty cool. I've only been there a couple times, but I love the science museum. I just really love science, and I love how that museum's set up. And actually in like one of the first rooms you walk in, there's a huge blue whale skeleton, and it might be a model, it's probably just a model, but along the ceiling, and it just looks really cool. And I love that about museums, that it's this, usually free education that you can go and you can just learn and expand your mind about a specific topic. Alright, so once again, this video, like my past couple ones, seems to have run a little bit long. It's about 8 minutes long. Thank you if you've stuck through for this whole video, as well as for any of you who have watched my other VEDA videos. I think the more I keep vlogging, the better I'll get at it. And I've really enjoyed this so far. Wow, 30 days of VEDA. Go me. So my goal is to continue vlogging on a semi-regular basis. Maybe I'll try and get back to once a week on Saturdays, or maybe every other week. I managed to do it every day for a month, so once a week shouldn't be too challenging. I'll see you around. Bye, guys.